Professor Chris Hamilton at Washburn University, for example, writes this on his core course curriculum. Various less violent but extremist right political movements which are gaining mainstream appeal and power in multiple ways, especially Senator Ted Cruz and Ron Paul, I assume he means Rand, increased numbers in the Republican primaries and U.S. House and Senate.
But is this really what should be discussed in college? Lauren Clark of Campus Reform joins us right now live from Phoenix. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Listen, I'm from Kansas. Washburn University is in Topeka, Kansas. I was shocked that a guy would be saying this garbage about Ted Cruz and others.
Right. So this course is entitled American Politics from 1960s to Present Day. Well, turns out that course is completely misleading with that title. This has nothing to do with the history of politics. Instead, this curriculum circumvents talking about conservatives and Republicans by name calling them, especially pointing out Ron Paul and Ted Cruz. And considering Ted Cruz just announced his candidacy for president, this story has a lot to talk about when it comes to what students will be dealing with the next few months in these upcoming elections.
You know, Lauren, you would think they would just present both sides and not skew the student, even on the left. If you're a right-wing professor, you should not be putting down any liberal causes. For example, they go on to say the neo-Confederacy movements, which are part of big money, ultra-right-wing powers, the Koch industries, thanks Harry Reid, and co-founders of the John Birch Society, goes on to talk about the broad new white nationalist movement. What kind of opinion is that?
Right, and I think this speaks volumes to the current state of higher education right now. Here we have a professor, and he's been a Fulbright scholar twice. He has headed a political science department, and yet he makes these broad, libelous claims without any facts to support them. I mean, this is unfair to the students in his class who he presents these opinions as facts. It's just completely inappropriate in an academic setting.
Sure. And Lauren, I understand that the student who reported this to Campus Reform feels like they're being picked on because every time they walk into the class, they feel like the professor is thinking, that guy's a racist because he's a conservative.
Right. So, unfortunately, we hear about students like this all the time at the Leadership Institute's Campus Reform. And this student here came to us anonymously for fear of retribution. Well, what does this say to the current atmosphere on college campuses? That students can't talk out for simply disagreeing with a professor because they're afraid of getting targeted with a poor grade or being attacked? I mean, shouldn't we be supporting an environment where students aren't bullied into believing certain things or don't feel shame for supporting a certain candidate?
And when the Blue Book exams go out, if you don't it this way with this slant, I wonder what kind of grade you get, even if you know the topic and curriculum. Lauren Clark, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, 28 minutes now after the top of the hour on this.